Yes, okay, good. All right, sorry for all the technical difficulties. So finally, I think you can hear me now. I'm so sorry, I don't really stream that often. I mean, at all, actually. So this is something brand new. So I'm glad that at least some people are here, so I know that the sound's working. So thank you for confirming with me, and welcome. My name is Chuki Chen, and I have this YouTube channel called Android Dialogues, which you're watching right now with Huan. Usually we do interviews, but I want to try something different. I actually did another collab earlier, which is for the Android Wear complications. And today I want to try the constraint layout collab. I've been wanting to learn about this since Google I/O pretty much, but didn't really have the time. So I wanted to do it while live streaming so that I guess more people can benefit from me going through the collab. So let me know like in the chat. So I have YouTube open. Actually, I have YouTube, Twitch, and live coding open. I don't know where you're watching this. So if you have anything, let me know. Like if you want me to try anything, if something you couldn't see because the font is too small or because I'm moving things too quickly, let me know as well. Or sometimes things are just off screen because I'm not actually streaming my whole desktop. I'm just streaming part of it, and then the rest are all the chat windows and whatnot. So it's not too busy. Great. So right now I have the collab open. So let's just go through and see what we are going to learn today. So the overview. So this is how it's supposed to look like after we've done the full collab. And constraint layout is a new type of layout available in the Android support repository built on top of a flexible constraint system. So great, I can't wait. I actually gone through a little bit already to make sure that I have the basics set up. So the next step, which is to clone the GitHub repository, I have that done already. And then run the sample app. So that I also did just to make sure that I have all the dependency downloaded, but I'm going to show you how it looks like. So import the project, sync, and open the activity main done from the project pane. So let's switch to Android Studio. I have this activity main done file open, which looks like that. Looks much more interesting if we switch to the design tab, which is pretty much what we saw on the web page. And if we deploy it onto the emulator, it looks like that. So I did that part all before the stream started working, just because yesterday it was a pain to just get the dependency down and everything synced up. So this is the goal of the workshop collab, and let's see how we're going to get there. So I've done opening it in the design tab, and I also run it on the emulator. Now, how does this work? So the layout editor allow you to put constraints among different views, and here they explain the different types of constraints. So, different types of handles, resize handle, I think is this little square in the corner, so you can drag it to change the size. And then side constraint handle, the little circle here, which looks like that on top. So here, 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 and here. So the side constraint handle let you specify the location of the widget. For example, you can use the left side constraint handle so that you can line it up to the right of another widget by 24 dp. These are also referred to as anchors throughout this collab. That's important to know. And then baseline constraint handle helps you align the text field of any two widgets irrespective of the widget sizes. This is helpful, for example, when you have two widgets of different sizes but want the text inside to be aligned. So this long bar here, which looks like that in the main view. All right, rules for the constraint system. An anchor of a widget in the layout can be connected to any anchor of another widget with the following exceptions. Anchors of different types cannot be connected. So anchors on different axes such as top and left cannot be connected, and the baseline candles can only be constrained to another baseline. Connecting anchors that will result in a cycle are not permitted. Makes sense? Alright, now we're ready to build on top of the starter project and build your constraint layout. Open the activity main start from the navigation bar. Okay, I'm going to read one more step. So introducing the dependency on constraint layout. I think we already have that, but let me just double check. So if I go to the main start, that looks good. And in terms of the, we already have that dependency. In fact, I bumped it up to alpha 8 instead of alpha 2 because that's the latest version. So we have that ready to go. Let's see. So the XML already have the empty constraint layout element for us to add stuff to it. So switch to the design view and add an image view. The first task is to add an image view to the layout. In the design window, find the image view on the palette and drag it onto the layout. Okay, let's do that. So here, switch to design, find an image view. Okay, drag it onto the layout. Not sure which size, I'll drag it here for now. Whoa, alright, I need to do a resource. Let me see what the Colab want me to do. So I drag it in here. The UI builder asks for a resource to use, indeed. So I will go ahead and choose the Singapore resource. Then once selected, and I can resize it like this little animation. Let's try that. Singapore, okay. Yay, and then I can resize it. Okay. I noticed that on this side there are some layout width, layout height shown here. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, now let's drag a text view from the palette onto the layout. Okay, a few warnings will be shown. So for this collab, we are going to use string dummy for the attribute, for the content description. Okay, so let's drag a text view. Okay, I believe that for the image view is where I want the dummy. Great. Okay. So I did that. In the inspector pane, you can also see other attributes. Change the scale type to be center crop for this collab. Next, we'll select the text view and change the text to be string Singapore. All right. So here, I want scale type to be center crop. And for the text view, I want the text to be Singapore. Okay, so far so good. We haven't put any constraint yet. Hopefully the Colab will tell us soon. Alright, in the next session we'll learn how to create a constraint. Alright, to create a constraint you need to click and hold the mouse on a given handle and drag it to another, which is constraint handle. When the anchor is green, you can release the mouse to finalize the constraint creation. Alright, but we need to disable the auto-connect mode so that we can learn all these manual constraints. So, before we start, ensure that we have an image view and text view. We want to constrain between the image view container and the text view. Let's assume we want the text view to be below the image view. So we're going to put a constraint between the top anchor of the text view and the bottom anchor of the image view as shown. Okay, let's go to the Android Studio. And here is the one that they want to make sure is disabled. So I'm going to click on it to see what happens. So I think this means it's not turned on. I'm very confused by this bar right now. Oh well, let's try. So I'm going to take this text view, take the top anchor, and drag it onto here. Okay. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. All right. So now, deleting a constraint. Use the delete constraint button that appears in the layer to remove all constraint. To delete a single constraint, click on a specific anchor. You can also use the menu icon to delete all the constraint. Okay, I'm not deleting anything yet, I think. The next step is to create a constraint between the top anchor of the image view to the top of the layout. Okay, I'm going to watch the animation, so do that. And then we can also do the left and right. Oh, that's interesting. This bouncy thing. All right, let's try all of that. So I'm going to do this to the top, do this to the left, do this to the right. Right? Oh, cool. So I really like these little spring-looking things. So it looks like it's centered. The text view, however, looks a little bit weird. I'm going to just drag it like that. Okay, it looks pretty good. I don't know how much distance we want to put between things, but let's go back to the Colab. See, okay. All right. In the next session, we'll learn about the inspector. Okay, it talks about the baseline constraint, but I don't think I'm using that right now. Getting familiar with the inspector. All right, so we will go ahead and remove the text view and create a constraint between the bottom anchor of the image view and the bottom of the container. And we should have something that looks like that. Oh, layout height and width is 200. They didn't say anything about that. Well, let's also fix that. So we will remove this. No, okay, I think I just removed the constraint. Well, let me just use the delete button. All right, that's gone. And I'm going to fix the size to be 200, just like they have in the screenshot. All right, and then do the bottom constraint. All right, cool. All right, I think it looks like what they have here. The following section describes the various elements and their uses. To the left, top, right, top, bottom, outside region are the margins. You can change the margin by clicking on the value and set a different value. In the screenshot, it's set to 16. Oh, cool. Let's try to muck with it. We also have it at 16, but let's just pretend we want 32. Ooh, and you see it pushes it down. So that's cool. Let me get it back to 16. Great. And then, deleting a constraint. Clicking on the lines connecting the widget to the container in the inspector also gives you an option to delete the constraint. You can also delete it by doing it on the handle. Positioning the widget relative to constraints. When you have at least two opposing connections on the widget, such as the top and bottom or the left or right, you can see a slider which lets you adjust the position of the widget along the axis. This is known as horizontal or vertical bias. You can also adjust the horizontal or vertical bias and change the orientation to see that bias is maintained. Okay, cool. Go ahead and change the vertical bias to 75% and horizontal bias to 75%. All right, I'm going to watch this animation and see what I'm supposed to do. Oh, okay, so this little thing here, okay. and then I'm supposed to do a little rotation. Gotcha. All right, so I want 75%. Okay. I wonder if I can type. No, I can only drag. All right. So there's that, and then I can do a rotation. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. So if I do that, okay, so it's still 75 and 75 here. All right, I'm just very curious, so I'm going to look at the code. I don't think I'm supposed to, but let's take a look. Interesting. So basically there's a parameter here. Oh, it says vertical 25 and horizontal 75. I thought I'm supposed to do both 75. Let me just double check. Okay, I mean on the UI it says 75. Okay, not sure what's happening. Let's continue on the Colab. Yeah, drag it here, just like what they did. Okay. Controlling the inner dimensions of the widget. So, click on the inner lines to cycle through mention. Okay. Fixed any size wrap content. Wow, okay. This is very confusing. Alright, let me just... The inner lines are within the widget. Okay, I'm just going to start clicking around because I'm not sure what they mean. Oh, here. Here, I see. Okay, so now I expand to any size and wrap content. Okay, interesting. I think, so this little just normal eye-shaped thing is like if I specify the layout height directly. What if I change it here? Wrap content. So this any size thing is a little bit confusing to me. I'm not sure what that means, but it changes it to 0 dp though. So it feels like when we use layout weight in linear layout. Okay, let me just switch it back to what I had before and read a bit more. So it's fixed, okay, that I understand now. Any size. This option let the widget occupy all available space to satisfy a constraint. In other words, this is more like match constraint. This is different from match parent, which makes the widget occupy all available space. Not quite sure what it means yet. Wrap content, that I understand it's like the old thing from just normal wrap content. Any size is independent of the container. If the image view is constrained to a button, making any size would only expand it to fill it up to the button. So yeah, it really sounds like when I use linear layout with a layout weight. Okay. Wait. Okay, this is before any size and this is after any size. Okay, so it just pushes it all the way. Okay. To edit and view all other attributes for a given widget, select the arrow thingy on the top right of the properties pane. Okay. Here. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Alright. So let's do the next thing. Using Auto Connect to create constraints. So we'll open the Auto Connect folder and then the icon will be enabled. Next, we select the image view and center it in the layer by dragging it until the guidelines are shown. A couple of seconds after it's centered, Auto Connect kicks in and creates constraints like these in the animation. Okay. Let's try that. So we need to switch to Auto Connect, which don't know if I'm supposed to click something here. I'm just gonna do it first. Okay, yeah, so I need to click on the turn on Auto Connect and then do it like this and then yeah, cool. So it's trying to infer what I want to do. All right. So now we are going to do the next part. So we have to align the image view to be placed at the top and use the any size to make sure that it expands to the width of the parent. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to do the width to any size. Yay, cool. Okay. Next, I'm going to place 2 buttons at the bottom right corner of the layout, and I'll change the text to the rightmost to be upload and then the other one to be discard. Okay, 2 buttons. Button here. Okay. I think this one is, I forgot already what I'm supposed to do with the button. Upload. Okay, upload. Upload. And I'll add another button. Not sure how far apart. Maybe 16. And then it will say discard. Okay. Drag a text view and a plain text from the palette and place them on the layout. And then they are supposed to be 48 dps apart. So a text view and a plain text. So they're supposed to be 48. Okay, and then now it's doing things. Okay, I don't know whether that's what I'm supposed to do. So let's see. Similarly, select the upload and place it close to the right margin, and then place the discard button twice. Oh, 32. Okay, so I don't know what constraint I put in already. I put 16, 16. Okay, and then this needs to be 32. No. Okay, I'm just gonna put it, rotate it just for fun. I don't like that. The text view and this other thing is on top of the image, so I feel like I did something wrong. But let's look at what they have here. I think I'm supposed to put the picture on top, but there are no constraints with the text view yet. Maybe it's the next step. I'm going to go to the next step. Using inference to create constraints. What is the difference between inference and auto-connect? The inference engine creates constraints among all elements in the layout, whereas auto-connect creates constraints among neighboring elements. The goal of auto-connect is to create constraints to lay out the widget being manipulated, so other widgets won't be constrained to the one you're moving, but the one you're moving will be constrained to the other constraint. This is an important distinction because it means auto-connect will not modify your current constraints. Alright, so it wants me to do a different one already, but I want to go back and play with the previous one a little bit because I'm not really happy with how it looks when I rotate it. Let's see. So I'm going to put this all the way to the top, and then see if I can move this. Oh, it doesn't want me to move it. Oh, I see. So this one is together, so maybe I can just delete this. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder how I can constrain it to, like, I don't know. So conceptually, what I want is the image to be on top, and then the text and the name to be below it. But I feel like because these two are lined up for some reason, I'm going to just delete these constraints. So now, maybe like that. Then I can say I want it to be 16 below, and these I want it to be baseline constraint because it's smaller. I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just try different things. I think that's what I want. I'm not sure. Okay, no, yeah, that doesn't look good. I want this to be baseline aligned with this. So how do I do that? So, this is too small. I can't see the baseline. Okay, cool. Now I have a baseline. Hey, wait, what? Okay, I can't get the baseline to align. I don't know how. So, like this baseline handle is really hard to get hold of. Maybe like this? No, not here. Okay, I give up. I don't I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. I want to line this up with this other thing. Okay. Well, I'm going to move on to the next step. Maybe it'll teach me how to use inference to get what I want. All right. So, for this step, we'll start with the inference XML. So it already comes with the image view and the star. And the star image has already been constrained to have a vertical bias at 81%. You can view this by clicking and checking the inspector. Okay, and then the large image view's bottom anchor is constrained to the star's bottom anchor with a margin of 16 dp. There's also other text views. All right, let's open that file and check it out. Okay, so that's what they were talking about. So there's this image view. I want to find where the 81% thing is set. I don't see it. Okay. Here. Okay. Cool. Interesting. So I have a vertical bias of 81% for the favorite, which is the star. And then after this part is constrained, then it has a relationship with the image view to be 16%, 16 dp margin here. That's really interesting. Cool. So what I will learn, expanding a view horizontally and vertically using actions on the menu, using the inference button to aid in creating constraint using inference. Since we'll be using some of these options, it's a good time to look at the action on the UI builder. Delete all constraints if I just want to restart. Create constraint using inference. The inference engine tries to find and create optimal connections based on various factors such as positions of widgets and their size. I can also expand widgets horizontally and vertically. So I should disable auto connect. Okay, and then I would need next. I'll add a text field that occupies available space. All right, so we already have Singapore description which spans multiple lines. So first we'll drag a text view and place it below the settings text view, and then expand horizontally and vertically. Okay. Let's see if the animation help. So make a text view, put it under settings, and I'm supposed to click some expanding thing. Hold on. Okay, keep watching. Expand, expand. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to get a text view, put it under settings. Oh, I need to, oops, sorry, I need to turn off the that part first. So let me just delete this constraint that it added for me. You know what? Let me just delete this whole thing and start again. So text view, put it here under settings. Something like that. And then I will, wait, I don't see the expanding thing. Here. Like this, like this. Okay. No, we don't want that. All right, let me not touch this yet. So I have a text view. Let's see inference in action. Click on the light bulb, and it will create constraint among all the views. And the final layout should look like this. Interesting. Okay, I think I missed one step. I need to add the text as well. Oh, wow, interesting. Okay, so you can also choose like this. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay, now it's showing up. So now I have that. I'm going to click on the light bulb. Ooh, I like it. It's I don't know what it did, but it looks good the way it's done. Maybe I should look at the inspector and see what it actually did. So it did some expanding any size on, so it's taking as much space as it can, and then it also added some margins, which looks a little bit too small to be honest, but let's compare it to what they have. Yeah. See, there's line up here. Let's see if we can fix that. So I want this margin to be the same as the margin here, which is 16. So I don't know whether I did something wrong when I tried to do the inference. Okay, now I really did something wrong. It disappeared. So I guess I could hand adjust it to 16 if I really want. But I kind of want to like make it work automatically. So let me try this again. So I'm going to delete this and I'll make it happen again, but this time be more careful about the actual placement. All right, so I have it lined up here in the beginning. And then I'll put the horizontal and vertical here, and then also change the text to be Singapore description. And then, see, like when I put the description, it moved it. So the margin is not what I set it to be earlier. So I'm going to put it back here. And now it's completely on the side. So maybe I need to like, what? No, I don't know what happened there. All right, so I keep getting confused about the side constraint versus the size. All right, so let's make it look like that, and then infer. No, it's not. It's not doing what I want. Okay. No, it is actually. So it got the 16 here. But I think the editor was just lagging a little bit. Okay, but I don't want 5 here. Oh well, I guess the inference is not that smart. I don't know. So I'm going to stop trying and just manually adjust. I mean, it's still nice that it does a little bit for you, and then you can just hand adjust things afterwards, I guess. Especially since I think it's a little bit confusing just how all the things like move together. Probably if I try this a little bit more, I will have a better understanding of what all those little things are doing. Okay, so now I have hand adjusted it so that I have the margins I want, and then I can modify. Hold on, sorry, I need to make this. Cool. All right, so once the constraints are created, you can modify the virtual device to render. So I can change it to a Nexus 6P or Nexus 9 to see what it does. Okay, cool. Let's try a Nexus 6P. Huh, interesting. Oh, I see. So I guess the text is taking up that much space, but it's not that many lines. That's why there's some blanks here. And we'll try this 9. There's a tablet layout. Interesting. I wonder what was the constraint. So I guess these are centered and these are on the side. Let me try to understand that. So how does it make, I guess these two are 50%. Aha, I see. So the fact that I have a 50% thing here pushes this label to be in the middle, and then this label is just linked to the left side. It's interesting. Things that I don't normally see, I guess, when I'm not on a tablet. So I'm switching it back to a 5x, and I'm waiting, waiting. Okay, good. So now it's back to the phone layout. Cool. All right, so I think that's the end of the collab. So we have done creating manual constraints, constraint using AutoConnect, and constraints using the inference engine. AutoConnect and inference aid you by having the layout engine figure out how to create constraint for them, and then I can modify either by AutoConnect or inference engine. Okay, cool. I guess I'll tick this mark. Oh, well, okay, I did not want to do that. Go back here. Anyway, so that's the constraint layout collab. It's kind of interesting. I feel like it's cool because everything is just flat and you can just specify things according to how you want them relative to each other. So it's like a more powerful relative layout. But there are certain things I'm still not sure what it means. So these labels, if you can take a look here. So like these fuzzy things, so this is wrap content for the height, and then the any size for the width. That is confusing me a little bit because I feel like I don't know why I would put any size there. Why I would put wrap content for that as well, and then the fact that was any size, and then it was put at a 50% as the positioning. That is not really clear to me. Maybe I should just try that. If I switch it to wrap content, what will happen? See, like on the top one is like fixed, and then the bottom, I don't understand. I just don't understand. All right, so let's rotate this. I mean, it's kind of doing the same thing as before. And then yeah, sure, I can change this, I think, so that it will move the bias position or not. Okay, I'm super confused. I don't know why this is not doing anything. I don't understand. Yeah, so I feel like I'll probably need more examples to understand what is happening here. So the part that confused me is the any size and the this bias thing. But beyond that, this is actually pretty powerful. Like I said, I think I'm not really ready to use it for my own apps quite yet. I just have hard to wrap my head around. So probably I will play with it, maybe find some other tutorials to do online first. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this collab and you learned something. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to do. I've also done live streaming for sketch notes as well, which is completely different because that's not coding, it's more art really. So cool. You all have been very quiet in terms of on the chat when I'm doing this, so hopefully it doesn't mean that you all went and get a coffee and just didn't watch it. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, let me know if there's anything else you would like to see. The easiest way to reach out is Twitter. So my Twitter handle is Chuki, Chiuki. So if you go there and just let me know if there's any other live stream you'll be interested to see, I'll try to make it happen. Thank you. Bye.